If you look at the rupee's performance in the course of the current financial year or current calendar year, it is one of the better ones. And I'm not just speaking about the emerging economies, including advanced currencies such as the euro, the pound, the yen, and the Korean won, etc.
I think the one headline that I didn't mention, which I think is confusing me the most, as a layman, is rupee all-time low 82. Today touch 82 rupees and change. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a reality. It's neither a good thing nor a bad thing. And first of all, we are talking about a bilateral exchange rate of just one pair. And if you look at the rupee's performance in the course of the current financial year or current calendar year, it is one of the better ones. And I'm not just speaking about the emerging economies, including advanced currencies such as the euro, the pound, the yen, and the Korean won, etc. I think rupee has done far better against the US dollar. And naturally, given that other countries that I mentioned have depreciated or weakened against the dollar even more than the rupee has, which means against these currencies, Indian rupee has done much better. So there it is not at a historical low. I mean, it's probably done, it is stronger than what it was a year or two ago. So I think we need to sort of keep these kind of headlines in perspective. So I wouldn't be worried about this is neither good or bad, because the reality is when the United States raises interest rates and when investors around the world become cautious and when flows of capital get affected, dollar tends to appreciate against all comers. And that is the way to look at it. This year, since the conflict broke out, it's a story of dollar strength. It's not a story of rupee weakness.
No, so in that, I mean, is there a concern then? I mean, do you share the concern that we're not weakened enough, that we're becoming uncompetitive because we've appreciated relative to euro, pound, yuan?
No, these discussions will always be inconclusive. I mean, there are arguments to make on both sides, and the proof of the pudding will have to be in the eating in terms of empirically whether it benefits. So you have to get down to the granulars, and I think we don't want to put our guests to sleep before they have had the dinner. So it's whether the rupee weakness would help exports in an environment when there is so much of uncertainty and growth is slowing down in many countries. Though, does it really help to have a weaker currency? Because after all, if I have to sell you something, you must have income in your wallet, and I must give a price that you find attractive. The currency weakness will only make the price attractive. But if your income is not there, you're not going to buy from me, no matter how much discount I offer. Yeah. But in the process, a weaker currency, if it makes my indispensable imports more expensive, then what have I achieved in the process? So that is why I said these are all slightly more involved discussions, and I feel at the moment the path of gradual currency adjustment to the reality of higher interest rates in the US and risk aversion, what is going on is something that is par for the course.
And expected.
And expected, and is something that we can live with.